to the 5 Cent Homestead. Last week I had told you we were close to lambing, and I thought number 11 was going to be lambing any day. There's no way she'd make it to the 11th. Well, it's the 12th and we have yet to see a lamb. We got 2 sheep lamb out now though. So this is our first baby. He was just a single. He's pretty. He's doing really well. The spray paint on him is just to so we know who his mom is. It's a little easier than trying to see their tag numbers. As you can see, his tag right now, can't really see it. Oh yes, hi mommy. Get your face out of here. Oh, our next sheep though, thankfully did have some twins, so I'm gonna show you those, and I'm gonna get those processed today. So by that I mean putting tags on them, giving them some selenium, and well, yeah, I'll show you all the things I do to them. So these are our twinsies. This girl here had 2 healthy, 2 little ewe lambs. They're both 10 pounds. Just, I don't know, I feel like it's very impressive for a 140-pound animal to have 20 pounds of baby in her. They're both doing super well. She's a great mom, has lots of milk, and is just loving them up really good. So last year when we lambed out, we actually used a different shed, and it just didn't work well. We made some adjustments. So Joel just finished building this the day before we started lambing. So I'll just give you a quick tour of our little lambing shed. Nothing spectacular, but had a low budget and it did the trick. So we've got on this side 1, 2 lambing jugs. So we just used some fencing staples, put them onto the wall, and are attaching them with carabiners. And then a third one over here. And then on this side, we've got 1, 2 lambing jugs, and then a bigger area we can use like as a bigger pen if we need to put a few together if they're just not ready to go out. So why we use these lambing jugs is it just increases the chance that the mama and her babies will bond really well, and increases the chance that the baby's getting enough colostrum in them, which is like extremely important. And so it's just it's a good practice to use these lambing jugs for 24 to 48 hours. I mean, longer, depending how they're doing, and just the mother's instincts and how many babies she has. Use longer if you need to, but if they're doing good after 24 hours, you can let them out. I'm gonna give these, they've been in here for over 24 hours now, so I'm gonna process them now, which I'll show you that in a minute here. And then I'll leave them in 1 more night just because I have the room, so why not? And then I'll let them out tomorrow. Okay, so to process our lambs, we have a few steps. We need to put some iodine on their navels. That just helps it dry up, decreases the chance of infection coming up in through their navel. So we do that, and we band their tails. It's a bit of a controversial thing. Some people say with the breed of sheep we have, there's no need to do it. Other people say definitely. We go for it, it's overall a common practice in the sheep industry. If you do it when they're young, it's not overly harmful to them. It's certainly not a comfortable procedure, but they get over it like super quickly, and long-term effect, it makes them more marketable. And the main reason people dock their tails is to prevent what they call fly strike. The breed of sheep we have, the chance of it happening isn't as high, but it certainly is still there, so we may as well mitigate that risk if we can. The next thing we do is we give them a shot of selenium. The area we're living in is selenium deficient, and if they could get what they call white muscle disease, and that's something we want to avoid, so it's easier just to give them some selenium right off the bat, keep them healthy. What else do we do? If they're rams, we castrate them. These are both ewe lambs, so I don't have to do that, which I'm thankful for. I absolutely hate castrating them. It's my least favorite thing to do. And then I mark them as I showed you outside with that. So seeing as these ones are twins, I'm gonna mark them in green, and then the mama's number 88, so I'll write 88 on mama and both the babies. And then they're green, I'll know that I need to find 2 babies with that mama. And it's just easier than trying to find different numbers together. It's the easiest way to make sure they're together, and then if something's wrong outside, I can be like, oh, what are you doing over here, baby? Go find your mom. And yeah, so, and then tagging them. I don't love last year we tried a different style of tagger, and I hated it with all of my heart. This one works a bit better. I still don't love tagging them. The tags are huge on their poor little ears right now, but it is something that has to be done. You need to be able to ID the sheep. And one other thing we usually do when we process them is weigh them. I did weigh these ones, however, yesterday morning. When they were first born, we had to take them in for a bit. Mama was just a little slow on the drying them off, and it was actually, it's been kind of spring-like around here. Much better temperature than it normally is. But yesterday morning was very cold, and so their little ears started getting some frost on. So we took them in just to dry them off, got some colostrum into them just to give them a good start, and then brought them back out to Mama. So when they were in the house yesterday, we went ahead and weighed them. We didn't want to do anything else. You don't want to like do their tagging and banding and stuff like that in their first 24 hours of life. The first 24 hours are all about just making sure those babies get colostrum. That is the absolute most important part. Without colostrum, they will not survive, they won't thrive. It's not, colostrum is the magic. It's magical stuff. So you want to give them 24 hours to make sure they have a good colostrum intake, and then deal with it after. Next, to get my needle ready with my iodine, or not my iodine, with my selenium. They're just itty bitty needles for these little guys. So first off with your our babies, you want to just make sure they have a nice full tummy. So you can hold her up like that. You can see there's a nice full tummy. So that's what we want. We know there's lots of colostrum in her, and that is the goal. To start off with the needle, it's a little tricky to do in these tiny little necks, so I like to do that first. So we're just gonna put the needle in, draw it back, make sure we're not in a vein, and then put it in. We're gonna do a tail band. You can see there's this little fold here, and you want to just do it under. Some people do it way up high. It's more show friendly. You don't want to do that though, because actually if you do dock it too short, you can cause issues in the future. They have a higher chance of prolapsing actually, as it just does damage some of their muscle integrity back. So you don't want to do it too short, but you also don't want to do it too long, because then what's the point even doing it, right? Next, you put the tag in. You want iodine, the spot we do it. Some iodine on here as well. And then you always want to do it on their left side of their ear. Make sure I'm checking Mama to do it right. As their left, do it on their left, as their right is supposed to be for their RFID tag. So we'll put the quick ID tag to their ear, and in their ear is kind of feel around. There's two big ribs in it, and you want to go in between that. You want to go close to the head, but not too close. You don't want to go into the cartilage. So you kind of mid upper ear, right in between those two things. Stick it in the right spot and commit. You want to do that as quick as possible and kind of save that for the end. That's definitely the most uncomfortable part of this. And now, oh, little baby. Now we'll iodine the navel as well. I used to do that first and then got iodine all over me when I was holding it. Not very clever. So it's already dried off pretty good, but we'll just put that on just to be sure. And then we'll mark this baby up. See, there we go. We got a nice little 88. This baby will go in, and then I'll get ready and we'll get the next one.
yeah, these babies are all done up now. I'll leave them in here tonight, then they can just have a little bit more time with Mama. And tomorrow they'll get to go and join their other little friend.